I've done 100 episodes. How weird is that?
I know. I know what you're going to say.
How many have you listened to?
Yeah. Do you feel lonely working for yourself?
Yes. Literally, I go on the family group
Months.
chat, like, I'm so annoyed. I'm like, who else can I tell?
Tempted to mute it.
Genuinely, there's so many times where I thought, who cares?
Yeah.
Apart from me. My brother doesn't even listen to it. Neither does mum. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Catch Ups in My Kitchen, the podcast about all things food, health and wellness, with me, Charlie Symonds, host of the podcast. This is episode 100. I honestly can't believe that this podcast has got to this point. I am so proud of myself for sticking at it week on week, and I'm definitely going to be celebrating this small win. When thinking on what to do for this mini milestone, I thought that another solo episode felt right, as the last one went down so well. But this time I thought I would shake it up a little, and I've got my brother in the hot seat interviewing me with questions that you guys wrote in on Instagram. I also asked him a few questions, as it would be rude not to, and it's just absolutely hilarious because we are so opposite, and he's only listened to one episode. So yeah, thanks for the support there, bud. It was a lot of fun, so I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you so much for your continuous support on the podcast. It really does mean the world. I have some great guests lined up for the future, and without you guys sharing, liking and following, I wouldn't be able to achieve this. So please keep the support coming. As always, please enjoy the episode and have a lovely rest of your day. Welcome to my kitchen, bud.
Thank you for having me.
How does it feel to be in the hot seat?
Yeah, weird, funny.
I've done 100 episodes. How weird is that?
I know. I know what you're going to say. I know exactly what you're going to say.
How many have you listened to?
Yeah, one.
I know. Which one was it?
Viewed one. And in one now. I can't remember.
Yeah, you can. It was a solo episode.
Yes, it was. And this is the next one.
Yeah.
The next solo one.
I get a message from Charlie. Just listen to your solo episode. It's actually quite good. I was like, what, did you expect it to be shit? So before I hand you the iPad and you take control, I want to ask you a question, which was, when I started the podcast, what did you think? Did you think, lol, this is
when
funny?
Did you start it? That's what I need to
There we
ask
go.
first. Yeah, no. What did I think? I just thought, well, I had some mates make podcasts, and I thought, well, this is going to be another one of those, not going to work. And then I think it actually, well, I've heard it actually is.
Well, I think it actually is.
I don't know.
And when you see clips on Instagram that I put on my story, do you think, oh God, so cringe?
No, I do like it, but I just don't get around to listening to them. I don't know why. I need to start listening. But
You're not really a podcast boy,
I'm not.
though, are you?
Movies and books.
Books. As if you read.
Trying to sound good.
I think you like had The Life of Pi in his bag for about 3 years.
Yeah, not wrong. Still with me. But no, I'm not a podcast person.
No, okay, well, at least you don't find it cringe. Okay, well, I thought you'd be a great person to interview for this because we're very different people.
Definitely.
So this is going to be quite entertaining. And also, I feel like everyone loves you, so this will probably get the most downloads. Lol. Right.
Thanks, guys.
This is the iPad. Take control.
Perfect.
We have a new quick fire round because I thought as it's episode 100, we change it up a bit. So those questions are new. And then we'll go into the questions that people have asked me through Instagram.
Okay, perfect. So just start from the beginning.
Start from quick fire, yeah.
Cook in or eat out?
I am cook in 100%. I love cooking, although Charlie hates my food, but it's fine.
Okay, favourite restaurant in London?
This is really hard, and I haven't got one, but I'd say sushi. I'd go Sexy Fish because the vibe's really cool and it's so basic, but like it's just a good vibe. Italian, I love Norma in Soho. Don't think you've been there.
No.
And Lebanese. I went to a really amazing restaurant called Kapara. Divine.
Okay, not my cup of tea.
Not your vibe.
Go to Deliveroo.
Attis salad. I know it's really dull, but like you can just
God.
add so many different components, and it's good.
Waggers all the way. Go to cuisine.
Lebanese.
Okay.
Okay.
No comment. Your go-to fridge or cupboard staple that isn't the basics.
Okay, right. This is a good one. I would say Nojo sauce. I know I'm biased because I do work for them, but I'm absolutely obsessed with their white miso. I'd say tahini is an absolute cupboard staple, and also like a peanut chili oil. Charlie's like, tahini what?
Straight over the head.
Yeah, those are my three.
Okay, couldn't be more different there. Your favourite dish to cook at home?
Oh, I would say probably... oh my God, I probably should have thought these in advance. Cauliflower steak, or like roasted cauliflower with like tahini and like maybe like an Israeli rice. Again, along the Lebanese vibe.
Those pasta shells, my favourite ones you make.
Oh my God,
Definitely.
yeah, they're great.
Lockdown favourite.
What's your favourite thing to cook?
My favourite thing to cook.
Go
I'm
on.
not much of a cook. I like to say I heat things up rather than chef. I can't really cook. I'm still learning. But if I did, it would be salmon, lentils, like the merchant lentils.
Merchant grains, yeah.
Easy,
Good.
1 minute, 45 seconds even.
Yeah.
With tomatoes, avocado, lettuce. Very specific. I'm like a burger connoisseur. So probably... I've got to shout out Collagen Arms. I love their burgers.
Ooh,
I know. It used to
one.
be a place in Switzerland, but anyway, that's number 2 now.
Yeah.
Collagen Arms burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's out the window.
That's gone.
That's gone. That was when Mum was looking over me, helping me, but no, I couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, fair. Is that all? Is that the end of the quickfire?
That is the end of the quickfire round.
Okay.
And then it's on to question 2, which is, what is your daily routine?
Okay. So I'm quite a routine person. Charlie and I are completely the opposite. So I probably get up around 6:30, and then I'm in the gym by 7. Gym is like non-negotiable in the morning. Can't really do my day without it. Then I would have breakfast at around 9. Start work at the same time. Daily routine. Don't really like meditate. Not one of those people. The gym for me is my version of meditation. I would. If I'm working, it's like a working day. Lunch around 1, go for a walk, hopefully with Marley or without Marley if I don't have her. I end up just working a lot. Like, even in the evenings, I'm probably working quite a lot. Food is a massive part of my routine. I love to cook in the evenings. This is like a weekly routine. I'm trying, you've actually influenced me a bit on this, believe it or not. I'm trying to sauna more.
Yes. Big thing. I love saunaing.
Yeah.
3 times a week, 20 minutes a session. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Health
like a
benefits
1
are
time a week.
crazy.
Like if I can do once a week,
Yeah,
that's really great.
No, I love saunaing.
But gym is a huge one for me. I gym every day. I do have a day off a week, but even that, I'm like, oh my God.
But you're always a morning gymmer, aren't you? Not
always
an
a morning gymmer.
Yeah, I can do that.
I can't. For me, it just like, helps me focus. If I don't...
Gets you into the day.
Yeah.
So.
Or coffee. Coffee's another one. I have coffee at like 9. Don't have a coffee on an empty stomach because that's not great. So I always have my breakfast first, then have my coffee. That's probably my daily routine. I'm quite routine. I do time block. I mean, most people probably have seen my little daily schedules. So I am a bit of a time blocker. That really helps me. Otherwise, I feel like I look at my day and I'm really overwhelmed. You get overwhelmed as well.
I see that. I mean, I don't do the time slots, but I have the list.
Yeah.
I like to take things off. And
yes.
I guess if I did do the time, it would help me get it done quicker and then wouldn't be left with so much at the end. But
yeah.
Anyway.
No, I agree. I always like
need to
look
learn
at all the
later
things I have to do and I'm like, oh my God, no, I've got so much to do.
Yeah.
But actually you don't have that much to do. It just seems a lot.
Yeah.
So if I like put it into blocks, I'm like, oh, actually I can get it all done by 5 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, very routine person. You're going to think I'm mental. I even like write out on my notes what I'm eating each day of the week, breakfast, lunch and dinner, which sounds ridiculous. But again, it just helps me like not waste any food. Like obviously it can change, but routine is a big one.
I'm gonna have a spin-off question to this question 2 of your daily routine. Do you ever have things which last longer than your designated slot and have to push things back or have to push them to another day?
Yeah.
Because I never see anything that's got like been referred to the next day and the next day. It's always done in that day. I
will probably end up working later and getting it done. Or sometimes it does move. And sometimes like someone will be like, can we have a call today? And you're like, it's not in the schedule, hon. But like
that's on tomorrow's list.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. I wouldn't say I'm a very spontaneous person. Trying to be better at that. Like when people were like, do you want to go for lunch now? I'd be like, what? Firstly, it's not in my notes on my food schedule. But that in next month, like, I can't.
Yeah.
But spontaneity is something that I need to be better at.
That's where you and me are completely different.
Yeah, although I'm a yes person. I don't really say no very much. So I do try and fit it in somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do try and fit it into the daily schedule.
Okay. On to question 3. which is, how did you make the podcast your full-time job?
Okay, so firstly, the podcast started as a passion project. Didn't really think it was going to go anywhere. Didn't think anyone would actually listen, but they did. Then I had Greedy Vegan at the same time. More people were listening to the podcast than buying from Greedy Vegan. But at that time, the podcast wasn't making any money. So I then decided to focus on the podcast full time. I don't think I would have made the podcast earn money if I didn't make it my full-time job. So I gave myself like a month to get a sponsor, which I did. And I think I started off small because I was a small podcast. I was like, let's start off with like a micro sponsor and be like, right, let's build together. Let's start really small. So started that and then kind of made it work. But I do work on the side. People might think that like I'm raking it in on the podcast. I'm not. I do work on the side. I do like content stuff for other brands. Yeah. So, and we're still really, really small in terms of the podcast and the sponsors, but like we're trying to grow now. Yeah. But I think sometimes you have to put yourself in a position where if I didn't give myself like, okay, I've got to make this work, otherwise the podcast isn't going to bring any money in, then I wouldn't have got a sponsor. I'd have been like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah. So that's how I made it full time. And then also another brand came to me and was like, do you want to host our podcast? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So I've got money coming in from that. So I guess having other revenue streams made me able to take this full time. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Number 4, what are the challenges you face through hosting the podcast yourself and at home?
So challenges are outside noise, number 1, drilling. Drives me absolutely insane. So like obviously if we're in a studio, it's all sound blocked. You can't hear like anything going on outside. But here, like if the post arrives or if the neighbours decide to have like screaming children or turn the TV up or have a party or there's drilling, that's really annoying.
The amount of times I've heard about that drilling.
Honestly, I like literally I go on the family group chat like I'm so annoyed. I'm like, who else can I tell?
Tempted to mute it. It's every day.
I know, trying to say, oh god, times 3 on the old voice note. So yeah, like external things that aren't outside of your control. That's really annoying. Yeah. And just having it on your own. Like for example, I've had many occasions where the guest is downstairs in the coffee shop. And they're like, I'm here. And I'm like, my mic's not working. Like, shit. Yeah. Like, that's really hard. So if you have a problem, one good thing is that where I am in Battersea, there's an app. And there's amazing people in the building. And sometimes I've been like, does anyone have a spare microphone? If you said that to, like, I don't know, somewhere else, people will be like, no. But often a lot of people are like, yeah, I do. And you're like, that's really good.
There's a good community here for that.
Yeah, really good. So that is helpful. But the challenges are doing it on your own. And also, I'm not an editor. I'm not a media. Well, I am now in media, but like I haven't come from that background or like been taught it. So I think having situations which come to you and you're like, shit, what do I do? How do I edit this? Or how do I fix my mic? Or how do I fix the cameras? That's annoying. Not having
bit of the old DIYs.
DIY, yeah.
Yeah, tricky one. Fantastic. Okay. Number 5, do you feel lonely working for yourself?
Yes. I have felt so lonely. Like I live on my own and I work on my own. And there are times where I'm like, hello, oh, I've got a voice. Like, you know, you just don't speak. I had an example actually where Dad called me one day and I was like, hi, oh my God, I haven't spoken yet today. And I was like, that is so sad, you're 25. So yeah, it can be so lonely. Also when you have a decision to make or you want to brainstorm, you don't have anyone to brainstorm with. But I think surrounding yourself with people who also work for themselves, having like, sounds really bad, like concierge downstairs, like I make friends with concierge and works in my favour. They deliver my post for me. But like, you know, you can like chat to them and like being in like a block like this like, is quite social. But my God, so lonely. But I think I'm quite a social person in the evenings. Like I try and do things in the evenings.
Yeah, you always see people. You're very sociable, always keeping up with friends and everything.
Yeah, but yes, 100% can be lonely. But you've got to fill your time with like friends. You've got to have people who also work for themselves. Go for coffee with them, dinners with them. But yeah, it's fucking lonely. I am allowed to swear on here. This episode is brought to you by Parlour, the sustainable solution to all your oral care needs. We are now at the start of a new year, which is a perfect time to make some small changes in order to live more sustainably. Our toothpaste tubes and mouthwash bottles are not recyclable and not biodegradable, so every toothpaste tube you've ever used still exists on the planet today, which is mind-blowing. So whether you're looking for some high-gloss whitening toothpaste or mouthwash with probiotics inside, Parla is the answer. And by using Georgia Symonds, you can get 10% off your first order by heading to www.parlatoothpastetabs.com or clicking the link in the show notes. Make a purchase, make a small change, and that will have a huge impact on the environment. Now let's get back to the episode.
Okay, perfect. Number 6, how do you get through the lows?
How do you get through the lows? So, is the next question about motivation?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 7, how do you motivate yourself?
Okay, I'm going to combine the two.
Okay.
Because I don't think motivation exists. I think it's discipline, and I think it goes back to routine. So I think for me, I'm so controlled, I'm so disciplined, and that's the only way I get through the lows. So I'm
Just
like,
block them out almost.
yeah. So I'm like, well, my schedule says I've got to move on to this task, so let's just keep doing it.
Don't have time to think about
Don't
this.
have time.
Yeah,
I'm literally on to the next, I don't really have time to think about it. And if I was only motivated, I'd have quit by now. Sometimes you think you've had a really great episode on, you look at the numbers and you're like, well, that wasn't great. And like, I could easily have quit. Like, this is episode 100, and I've showed up every week, bar like a few weeks I've had off. And genuinely, there's so many times where I thought, who cares? Apart from me. My brother doesn't even listen to it. Neither does mum. Mum has listened to like one. Dad.
No, she listens to a few.
Dad downloads
I can't believe we're at 100 though.
I know.
I got like 5 or 6.
Literally. Dad downloads them just so I get the number. But he doesn't listen.
Doesn't work like that. No, he does. He's always like, oh, I love that one.
I know.
Go on, Dad, which one?
Which one? And he's like, It's like, oh, bless. So like, there's honestly been so many times I could have quit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's discipline and the routine. That's probably how I get through the lows. And also, like, I have such a goal of where I want it to go, and I know it's going to get there, which we'll get onto manifestation in a minute. But like, I know I'll get there. Yeah,
Slow down.
I'm asking the question for you. So I think having the vision, being disciplined, having that routine, that schedule, and even when you're having a low day, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to write my schedule. Like you know, like the motivation isn't there. But I'm like, well, I promised myself that I'm going to write a schedule every day apart from weekends. So
it's a discipline,
let's
that
do
routine that keeps you going. Yeah, 100%. That's a good way to think about it, or to get through the lows as well. 100%. Not have time to think about them.
Yeah, literally.
That. Okay, number 8, manifesting. Do you manifest, and can you give us an example of something you have manifested?
So I think this year I've realised that I unintentionally manifest. So I would say I'm quite a positive person, and I'm like I definitely have that goal in my mind, and I see it. So that's manifestation, right? When you're like, I want to get here, and this is what I want it to look like. So even the fact that we're on episode 100, that I probably manifested that. Like, I knew the goal was to like keep going and build it, and even having that event, that in-person event I did, and people turn up and be like, oh, I listened to your podcast, and you're like, really? Like, obviously they do, they're there, but like, you kind of forget.
How the heck did you get? How did you get around to listen to this?
So I
Side
think
note,
I do.
that event was really good.
Thanks.
First one was good, but second one was really, I loved that because it was so. I don't know. The first one was just it was a completely different approach. You were learning a lot about their businesses, but the second one you were learning about them as a person and a lot about like how, you know, their routine, for example, that we're talking about, and pretty much these questions but for them, and it was really nice to hear.
And also I love the fact
Very
the
personable.
panel all got on.
Yeah,
you never know, like, but like,
and completely different jobs.
Yeah, like Milo went to Rona to get his teeth done. I was like, I didn't even realise that.
Yeah.
And then like Sav and Milo like do work together, like they all like knew each other, so that was really good. But I don't kind of like sit and look in the mirror and manifest like I will do this. Like, I'm not like that, but I definitely have a vision of where I want it to go. I definitely see that. I see myself in that. What have I manifested recently? This is a really small example, really small, but this happened this week. I went to a Stephen Bartlett event, which was great, by the way, and he was talking about how like you can't always be the how person. Like, I'm very much a how person. Like, if I have to edit the podcast, I'm like, how do I do that? Build a website, okay, how do I do that? I don't really outsource, I just do it all myself, and like, you're not the best person to do everything. So when I was listening to him, I was like, oh my God, you're so right. You know what? I really shouldn't be editing everything. I'm not the best editor in the world. So I was like, I'm going to get an editor. I was there with my friend and I was like, I'm going to get an editor. So I said it out loud. I then like pictured like me working with this person and like sending her the details. I was like, oh my God, okay, this could really work. The next day I was like, okay, let me go out and find an editor. I then did a TikTok video on the fact that I was going to find an editor. So I was really like putting it out to the world.
You have to do it.
I had to do it. Then I checked my emails and an editor had emailed me being like, hi.
Because of the TikTok or just
no,
out of the
completely
blue?
cold. Hi, Georgia. Are you looking for an editor? I'd love to help you on your podcast, blah, blah, blah. And I'm there like, oh my God.
The universe
Jesus
listened.
God. He listened, like genuinely. And don't get me wrong, it could be coincidence. But like, I fully think I manifested that.
Yeah.
So yes, I manifest. I'm definitely trying to do it more. And I think in terms of like science, like, and you'll probably get this, when you're more positive, you attract more positive things.
Definitely.
And like positives do attract in terms of like science and stuff. So my friend recently was like to me, gee, you're being really negative and then negative things are going to happen. And I was like, you're so right. I had a negative week last week.
100%.
Yeah. And like when you're positive and you're like, you know, the sun is out, not today, but like generally if the sun's out, like sun's out, like it's gonna be a good day. I've got a good weekend ahead. So that definitely helps. And the last thing I'm going to say is that in the mornings when I wake up, I always think, what am I looking forward to today? It could be, I can't wait to have breakfast because I'm going to make whatever. Like, I'm obsessed with breakfast.
Yeah.
It could be, I'm going to go for dinner with a friend. It could be, so this morning I was like, oh my God, Charlie's coming on the podcast. This is going to be hilarious. So it can be like as small as I'm going to have a sauna or I'm going to like make
always
have my
have
favorite
one
chocolate.
thing to look forward to in the day. Yeah.
And then you just start your day in a positive way.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Number 9. Collagen. What collagen do you take?
Oh yeah, okay. Someone asked me this. I thought I'd pop it into the old questions. So, collagen's a hard one because they're always animal based or fish based, and obviously being plant based, I don't take those. I do take dirty tremella mushroom, which is like a mushroom, functional mushroom, and it's like a beauty one. So I take that, and that's been amazing. I have been sent another collagen powder, which is a combination of mushrooms. Answer to the question is I take functional mushrooms and that's my collagen. Functional mushrooms and like in a powder form. And
that's
tremella
completely gone over my head. What even is that?
So tremella, they're all like different types of mushrooms.
Fine.
I'm gonna get you on it.
I think you have told me about this. You said about mushrooms, like shrooms. I was like, wait, gee, where are you going with this?
Eating shrooms. Me living on my own in the flat on shrooms.
I was gonna say she's lost it now.
She's lost it.
Episode 100, I've lost my mind.
Living on your own, working on your own. I'm lonely and I'm on shrooms. But basically, mushrooms is my collagen.
Yeah.
I like taking natural things. It's natural.
Yeah.
And it's great. And I think dirty is a really good one. I love the branding. I love the tin. I love it doesn't taste of anything. It's great. So yeah. Fantastic. I'm here for the shrooms.
Okay. Here for the shrooms. Next one, number 10. What's your goal with the podcast? Change your tone.
Good question. Okay, so I want the podcast to be this kind of media platform for catch-ups in my kitchen, but then I've also got a website which no one goes on, but it's all right, guys, you'll get that.
I do know this.
There we go. Yeah, you don't listen. No, to be fair, no one knows this. Okay. I have a website for it, and every episode I write notes like, if you miss the episode or you listen to it and you want to know what they recommended, blah, 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 you go on there. And I want there to be different sections. So you have catch-ups in my kitchen, catch-ups in my bathroom, catch-ups in my dressing room. So we're building it out into recommendations. I want it to be like recipes on there. So, I had the Healthy Habits website.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be like a combination of two.
God, that was stressful.
Yeah. So I want it to have like recipes on there. I want like profiles of the guests. So what's Charlie's favourite recipe? What does Charlie like to cook? Where does Charlie like to go in London? Like kind of like all recommendations for foodie spots, products, food, health, wellnessy things. So I guess kind of like not a magazine, but like an online magazine basically where you've got all these different things. So I want to build it out.
Branch it out,
Yeah. I'd love it to be, another thing I'd love for the podcast, I have kind of 2 goals. I'd love it to be a TV show where I have like celebs join me in my kitchen and we like cook together, we chat. This is like really aspiring here.
Yeah,
I'm
ambitious.
manifesting.
Manifest, come on, let's do it.
Charlie said.
Make it happen.
Here we go.
Episode 1000, I'll be back. I'm like, how the hell this happened?
You're like, why am I back?
yeah. Of all people.
That'd be cute. You could do every milestone. That'd be nice. Also,
I'll
another
start
goal.
listening now, I promise.
Thank you. Another goal is to have a season abroad. So I'd love to go to like LA and like, I don't know where the kitchen would be. Different countries, and then I'd have different guests on from those countries. So I've got 3 goals really. Get more downloads, people listen. So yeah, I guess build it out, have bigger guests, bigger sponsors, build out the website, build out the different like channels. TV show would be great, but maybe let's just stick to the podcast for now.
For now. This is down the road.
Yeah, and that's the goal.
Perfect. And last but not least, number 11. It says last meal. Does that mean last meal as in the last meal you ate, or your last meal on this planet?
Last meal on the planet.
We love this game in our family.
I'm gonna be asking you then.
Okay, great.
Right.
You know mine anyway, but yeah, your last meal.
My last meal. Okay.
I couldn't even guess this if I tried.
Really?
No, not a clue.
Okay.
Something cauliflowery.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, sure.
That's in the main. That's the main course. So starter, it would be sushi.
Mm.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Starter would be sushi, but I don't know if I'd go vegetable sushi or a mix of vegetable and like tuna. But I'd like make sure I know where the tuna's caught.
Yeah, line caught.
Line caught. Come on, jeez. So yeah, I'd have maybe like a spicy tuna roll, but where I know where the tuna's from.
Yeah.
I'd have a vegetable like mixed sushi. For main course, it would be Lebanese. So I want like a platter. I want like roasted cauliflower, hummus, flatbread.
What's that other one called?
Baba ganoush.
You love that one. You showed me that about a year ago. And I actually quite liked that.
It's
the Baba ganoush.
nice.
Hummus is the best. You can't beat hummus.
Hummus is the best.
Baba ganoush is actually quite good.
So I'd have that. Then dessert.
This is going to be rogue. I don't know.
I know. I think it would be frozen yogurt with dark chocolate chips, like peanut butter, strawberries, maybe some like Reese's or maybe like Oreos on top.
Oh, Reese's not my thing.
Okay, well.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then for drink. I'm actually going to change it.
Not G&T?
No. You know what I'm quite enjoying at the moment? It's a spicy margarita.
Oh, no, I hate that. Is that the one with the salt around the rim?
Yes.
No.
Oh, lovely.
No.
So I might have that or a fish bowl of...
Fish bowl? MAGA.
I'll go to Magaluf and get a lime
Blue Lagoon. Jug. Yeah, it's the side that you don't see of Georgia.
Me and Magaluf with the fish bowl. No, I'd have a big Hendrick's gin and tonic or spicy margarita. Can't decide. Okay, you? What's yours?
Well, mine is literally the opposite of you. So starter. Well, you could guess mine, but I'll say anyway. Yeah. Starter, beef carpaccio or beef tartare. No, I'll go beef carpaccio starter, and then a burger, but it's got to be very specific. I'm like a burger connoisseur, so probably. I've got to shout out Collagen Arms. I love their burgers.
Ooh,
I know. It used to be a place in Switzerland, but anyway, that's number 2 now. Yeah. Collagen Arms burger, definitely main course. Dessert.
Hold on. Having chips with that.
100%.
Fries with
mash. You're not fries with that. Captain Tommy speaking. Yes, I get burger with truffle fries. Oh, yeah, thin, not those fat cut chips. No.
They're called wedges.
Mum loves that, not me. So fries, truffle fries. Yeah. And then dessert, chocolate fudge. What's it called? Salivating. Salivering. And then chocolate fondant. Yeah. For pudding.
With vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream. Not any of that weird caramel stuff. Vanilla ice cream. Yeah. Keep it simple. And then a nice glass of red. Yeah. Italian, Tuscan glass of red. Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, I do love a Hendrick's and tonic, which you used to have. That used to be your drink.
Yeah, I do love a Hendrick's and tonic.
It's my last meal on earth, red.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Cigar in mouth.
Love it. He's done. He's off. Happy boy. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. Would you say you're quite healthy?
Well, yes and no. I think I definitely focus on my protein intake, and I try get at least definitely my 5 a day, but try get 6, 7, 8 as much as I can. But then I completely ruin that on the weekend.
Yeah, but I think you actually are pretty healthy. You don't snack at all.
Don't snack. No, that's more for teeth. I'm very particular with teeth. You've got to have your 3 meals, and your teeth need time to recover between your meals. So don't snack. And I'm very fastidious and not snacking. And I try eat healthily.
Yeah, mum
But
and
then I
dad
have
are
like
big
fat,
snackers.
juicy burgers on a Saturday, and it's like, well, that's not really that good, is it?
No, but it's balanced, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're quite good with like your smoothies in the morning.
Yeah.
What's breakfast now?
Right, my daily routine. Who cares about Georgia? Me.
Go on.
That's why I'm here.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. No, so me would be smoothie. Tends to be frozen mango, pineapple, blueberries, raspberries, whatever I get. Frozen berries, frozen fruit with pineapple juice, an apple and a banana. That's the juice.
Honestly,
Get as like 6 or 7 fruit in there.
Honestly,
and then I'm like,
sounds vile.
sound for the day. And then a bagel tends to be salmon in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That's breakfast sorted. Lunch could be anything. At the minute, I'm loving a Waitrose meal deal. The what is it?
He's a bougie boy. He's got
Waitrose meal deal. No, but the meal deals are great and also really affordable. Anyway, so that's like a steak and caramelized onion sandwich with chicken bites and a smoothie again. But I try to have my smoothie for lunch completely different to what I put in my breakfast smoothie.
Right, so you're looking at the ingredients.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
And then dinner, if I'm cooking, it would be salmon or fish cakes with, as I said earlier, lentils and then veg. And I try to have like a protein bar in the day and a protein shake after the gym.
You don't put protein in your smoothie though.
No, I don't. That's a good point. I might start doing that.
Do that.
Why have I not thought that till now?
I don't
But
know.
no, because I do my protein shake and my creatine after the gym about 5 or 6. So that's my go-to day. But then, depends. Because dinner could be anything. I'm at home with mum will do her own thing if I'm getting cooked from, if I'm lucky.
Yeah. No, you
Or
don't.
not.
You don't like my food.
I do. No.
There's no meat involved.
You do your food and then you put like a steak in for me and then or a bit of chicken. I'm happy.
Yeah. Very true. Okay, if you wanted to like add anything to your routine to make yourself healthier or better, or what would you like to do or change or like?
I'd love to be a morning person. I'm not a morning person. I'd love to wake up at 5 and go on that run. I always say, right, I'm going to go on. So I do a run and the gym most days, but I run midday and I gym in the afternoon. Whereas I would love to be able to run at like 6, 7, like you do. Gym. I would always gym in the evening because I need my 2 meals after the gym to do weightlifting. Before the gym, sorry.
Yeah.
But the run in the morning would be ideal early.
Yeah.
I just can't. I love my sleep. I'm in bed and I'm like, I'm not getting out.
Yeah, you're not a morning person.
Change that.
But you're also, this is what I find fascinating about you, actually saying that, you've got caffeine right now, but you're not really a caffeine person.
No, only when I'm tired or ill, like now.
Yeah. Maybe coffee is something that you'll come into later because...
Definitely, yeah. I love the taste of it. It just gives me the jitters, a bit too much caffeine. Maybe a decaf coffee, but...
You're funny, but also we're both quite controlling. I'm a massive control freak, but I think you are too. And like, even with drinking, like, you're quite funny where, this is again slightly changing more now, but you prefer to only have like, you're either going to go all out and have like a few drinks.
I just don't see the point of having a glass of red on a Wednesday. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love red, but having a beer on a Wednesday with your mates, I'm like, well, either you drink and you go out or you don't, because if, for example, when we go home, mum and dad are always like, oh, why never drink with us? I'm like, it's detox time.
Yeah,
I'll drink with my mates on the weekend, but with you, I need like time out because I'll drink once or twice a week. I don't want to drink 3 or 4 times a week, even if it's just a couple of glasses. I just don't see the point in that.
Yeah.
Which is the definition of a binge drinker. So it's not ideal.
Know.
But
I'm with you. But also, we
spoke
about sleep earlier. Like, it does affect your sleep so much.
Massively.
Do you ever get it when like...
I can't sleep very well when I drink.
No, I'm the same. Do you ever get it when like you've got plans to go out and you're a bit like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already nervous about like waking up and like not sleeping very well.
Literally.
Like, it's so pathetic.
And I have such a good week and like healthy, eating well, gymming well, sleeping well. Comes the weekend and I just lose all of that productivity.
Yeah.
It's
the worst. And you wake up on Monday and you feel rubbish and you're like, I need another weekend.
But then I would also do absolutely nothing, sit at home on the weekend and be like, this is hell.
Get
me out with the boys. And
completely agree. So, but I think you are quite healthy actually. Yeah. Mum and dad are snackers and they're always like, do you want a cup of tea and then whatever? And you're like, no. Teeth. I'm the same. That's why I don't drink red. Because of my teeth.
The teeth. But you drink your coffee through a straw. That's next level.
I know. I've stopped that. See, I got judged.
That's a weird one.
I got judged.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's not me.
But I always have water, so then it's like, but red, I always get scared of my teeth. I'm like, because I don't automatically love it. If I had it and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
But you love coffee though. That's really bad for the teeth.
I know.
And beetroot. It's a big stainer.
I'm super bad with beetroot. That's a big stainer. Very true. But thanks for coming to the kitchen.
Thank you for having me.
This
Fantastic
is great.
to be
Episode
here.
100. Yay. Come back for 200.
I'll listen to this one.
Thanks. Oh yeah, listen to yourself. Why don't you?
Fast forward. She's boring.
Yeah. Thanks Thanks so much.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Bye.